Joining us now, as he does every Fast Friday, is former BYU and NFL linebacker Bryan Kehl. Now, Bryan, I know you're a man of many sports, and I want to get your take on this.
Many.
Wait, what?
Many.
We just
Every sport.
broke down the percentages of how difficult it is for a guy to get drafted into the NBA, and that's if you're a Division I college basketball player, less than 1%. Why is it so tough for good Division I athletes to get to that next level? What makes it so difficult?
That is an excellent question. I think it's just the numbers, the sheer numbers. I think you have so many high school players in any sport. You have so many college players in any sport. And then you get to the professional ranks, and it's just the elite of the elite. There's only so many teams. What is there, 28 NBA teams?
30.
Is there 30?
30.
Okay, so there's 30 teams. What do they have, 12 guys on a team or something like that? So, I mean, what is that, 320? What is it, guys?
Something like that.
Is my math all right?
360?
360 guys.
Oh, for how many teams in college basketball?
No. How many
30
guys
times
in
12,
the NBA?
That's 360. Yeah. So I mean, shoot, that's just a handful of guys.
Not too
Think
many.
of it, there's 360 professional basketball players. Well, NBA basketball players. You know, that's not very many guys.
That's not a ton.
So going back to the stats, it's just an elite group.
It's just science.
Yes.
And here's, I guess, one thought with this is BYU wants to compete at the highest level. They want to compete at the national level, right? So you got to have really good athletes. In my opinion, you got to have NFL draft picks and NBA draft picks for the most part to compete at that level. You can pull butlers, right? They had Gordon Hayward, right, when they go to the national championship game, whatever his name, Shelvin Mack or whatever. Does BYU need more draft picks to fulfill their goals right now?
No, I don't think so, because their goals don't really. Let me change my answer. Yes and no. Yes and no, because one of their goals, one of their objectives, I don't know if it's necessarily a goal, but objective, is to help guys get to the next level. But I wouldn't say that's their main objective or goal. Their main objective is to win football games, to win the state, to win a national championship. That's their main objective. Having guys drafted, it doesn't, one way or the other, it doesn't have anything to do with that. That being said, if you take it from a holistic approach and think, well, in order for us to accomplish our main goal, which ultimately is to win a national championship, we need good players. In order to get good players, we need credibility. In order to have credibility, we need the guys to be able to get drafted. So yeah, it fits back. There's some back and forth. This is a long, weird answer, but it's not, their primary objective, maybe like C or D down the list.
Yeah, and I totally get that.
If I can speak for Bronco.
Right.
He's giving me that, but no, he hasn't given that position. I do not speak for Bronco.
When I see BYU go 0 for in the NFL and NBA draft, I guess there is concern there because BYU does not need a ton of guys drafted. BYU never beat Alabama with LSU with all these picks, right? That's
Kentucky.
Those guys don't want to live the honor code. I just get it, right? Let's be frank about it.
No, they don't.
Yet, BYU in the past had, a little more presence in the league, and I think at that time we're peaking. So as a program, you hope to get to the point where, yes, through free agency, you can have Brandon Davies get into the league and play a year and a half, which was great. Yes, you have, Fua, Lasike, Leslie. These guys are in camps. This is awesome. But hopefully you can get picks because picks equal playing time for the most part. Mm-hmm. As a former pick, you can speak to that.
No question. Yeah. We do. Our numbers, they're terrible. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Spencer tried to get me to pontificate on some of the reasons.
Still waiting for that.
There are reasons. Let's just put it this way. There are reasons that our draft numbers are low, and they deal with demographics. They deal with the way the NFL, at least for the NFL, I guess the NBA is kind of trended the same way, but the way let's just say it this, okay? If you read between the lines here, people, the demographics of the NBA were different in 1970 than they are today. The demographics of BYU are the same today as they were in 1970. So
there you go.
If you can
We'd
pick
like to
that
think
up,
that it's a little better.
If you can pick up what I'm getting
but
at.
Not a ton. Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to say.
This is why I want more pontification,
That's all I'm
Bryan.
going to say on that. That's all I'm going to say on that right now.
Okay, we've had 2 pontificate references already on the show.
Pontificatory references.
It is a Fast Friday, no doubt about it. Bryan, you were here on Media Day as part of the 4 decades of dominance. You were around some guys that have dreams of hitting that next level, Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, Mitch Matthews. What was your biggest takeaway overall from Wednesday's Media Day and BYU football pushing forward to 2015?
I think my biggest takeaway is that Kozlowski is kind of a goofball.
You're telling me.
I had never really been around the guy that much, and that was kind of funny. That was entertaining to watch, especially the panel that he was in. The other two guys didn't want to say anything.
Jeff Blank and Mark Wilson.
And he said everything. And it was funny. He kind of tried to jab at Mark a little bit, and he said Mark looked like Robbie Bosco. And Mark didn't even comment. He just sat there in silence. It was kind of funny. I don't know. I didn't even participate other than sitting in the audience. And I had a great time. It was fun.
Yeah. Who was fun to maybe meet or interact with that you maybe hadn't seen in a while or ever met?
Really cool was to talk to Derwin Gray or Dewey Gray. He was literally my favorite player when he was here, which was my formative years. Really when my blue diehardedness was solidified in those early 90s. You know, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, those ages, just when I became a Cougar. And he was my favorite player, and I had forgotten this. Too many hits to the head, I guess. But I spoke to him. He came to a game or something my junior year, and I spoke to him and told him the same thing. Oh, you're my favorite player. Can I have your autograph? You know, total just starstruck. And I actually had forgotten. But he kind of was taken back by that, and so then he said he followed me and followed my career, and so he came up to me the other day to talk to me and see how things were going and see what was going on. And it was just cool because it's kind of fun for me. A guy that I idolized. It's just kind of fun for him to come up to me and actually know who I am and talk to me. That was fun.
Very cool atmosphere that was created in 4 decades of dominance. Your family bloodline got a major shout out on our show, first of all, from Omar Morgan when we talked to him, and then it was brought up again during the 4 decades of dominance program, and that was the interception in the 1997 January 1st Cotton Bowl. Ed Kehl got credit for shouting out, "They're going to run a slant," and then Omar Morgan acted accordingly.
Yeah.
So, how long have you known about that?
Oh, I mean, from right after it happened, and so he definitely takes credit for that play, my brother, and rightly so. Omar made the play, but he wouldn't have been. I mean, you couldn't say wouldn't have been, but most likely wouldn't have been in position hadn't he got tipped off. And I don't know how much was said about it, but what it was, they ran that play earlier in the game, and it was audible, and it was a profanity that was the audible. And so that's why my brother remembered it.
Oh,
and so when it came up again, the quarterback audibled, and that my brother remembered it from earlier. I don't know what curse word it was, but what potty word. But it came up again, and my brother remembered, and you can see on the play,
56.
He knows it's coming. He tries to get in the way of the ball, but
we got to tweet this out.
Yeah, that's what happened, and so he yelled back, "Omar, slant, jump the slant." The rest is history.
That reminded me of the way the Super Bowl ended. It really did.
That was
where you read a situation
that you've seen before.
Yeah, where you're smart enough on the field to make a huge play to win that game.
Because that is same side of the field, similar play.
Yeah.
And that kid, he had seen that play in practice, got beat on it in practice.
And I guess Belichick went up to him and said, "Listen, they will run this in this situation, and you've got to jump the route."
That's called preparation.
And it won a Super Bowl.
Preparation. When preparation meets opportunity, that equals success.
There's no such thing as luck. When preparation meets opportunity.
So the play in the Super Bowl, that circus catch, to get them to that position, that was luck.
That's true. That's true.
There was this aggressive tone on media day starting with Bronco Mendenhall. He comes on the show on the set, and he's like, "We're going to hunt teams down. We're trying to force our way into a Power 5 conference, and we're going to go after teams and get it." We'd never heard that.
Wow.
And so then Jamal Williams comes on and says, "We're going to eat."
Of course he would.
Bronson Kafusi's like, "We're going to strike teams down." Like all these aggressive verbs.
I like it.
Why do you think BYU has taken such an aggressive tone just a few years after, independence is sustainable, we're okay. Now it's like, oh no, it's kill or be killed in the Power 5 story.
So my brother, Ed, he always used to say this. This is kind of his saying. It was kind of against that old cliche, good things come to those who wait. So he and me are not very patient, and my family's not very patient. And so he would always say, the only thing that comes to those who wait is that which is left behind by those who hustle. And so he would always say that,
I love it.
And that is so indicative of his personality because he has no patience. I don't have patience, and I look at him like, dude, you need some patience. He's got no patience. But anyway, so back to this, it's kind of just that mindset. You can't, in our situation, we cannot just rest on our laurels, sit back, and wait for something to come to us because it's probably not going to come. We got to hunt. We got to eat. We got to kill. We got to go out there and get it or strike down. That was the third one. We got to go get it. So I think that is appropriate, and it's kind of what our situation is forcing us to do.
That's exactly right. I think that BYU is coming from a place of desperation because you don't want to go. BYU's outspoken about we're not going back to the Mountain West without saying those words. They've said that we're not going backward. We're going forward.
And rightly so.
Forward is Power 5, and that's it. That's the end of the road, right?
Yeah.
So BYU's in this interesting situation the next couple of years where they have to do something significant. Hopefully,
you got to make noise.
Yes, and the schedules are set up to do that. But the risk is that you're probably going to have a couple more losses than normal. If you maintain
That's
where
risk,
you've been, 8-5 against last year's schedule would be less than 8 wins against this year's schedule.
And that's the thing, you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. To use another cliche, is it cliche Fast Friday today? So, but it's true. It is so true. Like you can't accomplish great things without swinging for the fences. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do. And so, in order for it is P5 or bust. We don't want to be independent forever. Independent's great. It's been good for us, but we don't want to do it forever. And we're not going back to the Mountain West. We want to get to a P5, and so we got to start swinging, man. Singles and doubles aren't gonna make it.
It's the high risk, high reward mentality.
It is.
BYU is all in on it. Bryan Kehl, Fast Friday, always a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff.
Coming in
from the former NFL and BYU linebacker, a guy who beat the percentage odds to go next level.